G'day everyone. Murray cod opening is upon us here in Victoria and also in New South Wales. So I've decided to make a video of what I've packed in my bag, ready to go next Friday morning when the season opens. Righto folks, here is my fishing bag. It's a Stony Creek fishing bag. I actually inherited this from my father. It was one of his hunting bags. I lent it off him about 6 months ago and I've just forgotten to give it back. He's asked for it a couple of times. Sorry Dad if you happen to be watching. But anyway folks, the reason I'm making this video about what's in my fishing bag is just to give you a bit of an idea or a bit of guidance as to the sort of things that I'll be taking out and that you might perhaps consider taking out while you go fishing this cod opening. Now, the bottom part of my bag, I've got 2 water bottles. This one, it's a little bit girly looking, it's a little bit pink and blue, but I like it because it holds 1 litre of water and it's got a screw-in compartment down the bottom and I can put a few peanuts in there. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, peanuts. They are fantastic when you're fishing. They're a good source of energy and you don't need very many of them to keep you going, so they'll fit in there, and that'll take 1 litre of water as well. And I've also got my water filtration bottle, which I had in all last season as well, so that if I'm out somewhere like this, it's a hot day, I drink my litre of water and I run out, I can then fill this up out of the river. And I have to say, I must have used this a lot of times, probably 100 times or more last summer. Not once did I get sick. So that has served me very, very well. The brand is Filter Pure water filtration system. Fantastic, great thing to carry around. Now, being that it's water, and I've often got electronic stuff like mobile phones, digital cameras and stuff in my bag with them, I put the water in the bottom of the bag down here because that way, if a water bottle leaks, it leaks down and nothing gets wet. Now, into the good oil. This is my tackle box. This has got all my lures in it. There's an array of lures, and I'm going to go into that in a separate video so as not to make this video too long. But there's all my lures in there ready to go. There's quite a few lures. Not a fancy box, it's not a U-Boot state-of-the-art tackle management system. It's just a plain, straightforward, cheap little tackle box, big enough to hold 12 or more lures for me to take out when I'm walking the banks cod fishing. I've got my Deeper Pro Plus portable fish finder. I use this a lot more than you realise. I've had it in a few of my videos, but sometimes I edit that scene out just to keep the video footage down. This is great when you're walking along spots like this. If you want to know how deep it is, where the deep drop-offs are, where the logs are, just so hypothetically, I'm walking along, I'm on the Murray River here, so it's quite a big bit of water, but this is a bit of an offshoot coming past here where I'm standing. Say I wanted to cast some lures around this area, but I want to know which areas to pay particular attention to. I'll clip my Deeper, I'll unclip my lure, clip my Deeper fish finder on, I'll cast it out and retrieve it slowly and watch the screen of my mobile phone, and that will tell me where the logs are that are underwater that I can't actually see with my eye. It will also tell me where the drop-offs are and the likely looking spots, and if there's a fish out in the open it will tell me that as well. So that's a must. It's not too heavy, it's small, it's compact. There's definitely a place for that, and that'll be in my backpack all season. Pliers. Pliers are an absolute must for any cod fisherman, regardless whether you're walking the banks, fishing in a boat. The last thing you want to do is get a set of Murray cod trebles embedded into your leg or your hand or something. I've had it happen plenty of times. I've had to go to hospital and have them removed. In fact, and I'll put a link above shortly, last year I caught an 85 centimetre Murray cod on a surface lure. I went to land it with the fish grips actually, and it gave an almighty kick and it dug the hook into my leg, and I've still got the scar on my leg right now. So I had to, with my pliers, crimp the barb, pull the hook back through and do it really quickly because I couldn't do anything else. I had a 20-pound cod hanging off the hook. It was a horrible situation, but at the same time it was a fantastic situation. I'm going to put a link above there now so you can see that. Had I not had the pliers, I wouldn't have been able to crimp that hook and I would have been in a hell of a mess trying to reverse that sharp hook back through my leg. Pliers are an absolute must when you are cod fishing. They're more of a first aid thing than anything else. Fish grips. There's so many different sorts of fish grips on the market. I like these. The plastic ones that you get, the fish grip, they're really good because they're very lightweight and a lot of them float. Some of them glow in the dark. They're a great invention as well. Each to their own. But I've been using this Icon brand. It's only a cheap brand. It's got a built-in set of scales and it does the job for me. Having said that, if I was to go down to the Murray River below Lake Mulwala or somewhere, or below Yarrawonga, I'd probably probably look into a larger set of fish grips. A knife, it's always good to have a knife of some kind to cut braid or to cut anything. In the olden days we took knives to fillet fish and gut fish on the bank of the river pretty much, but these days it's just good to have a knife for a number of reasons. It's just a handy tool to have irrespective of whether you keep fish or not. I've got a towel in there just to dry my hands, or if I do catch a big fish and those fish grips are too small, I might want to use the towel to hold the fish so that I don't get cod thumb, as Rod Mackenzie calls it, so that my hand doesn't get cut to shreds. And that's about it, folks. I will probably put a lure retriever in there, and I'll definitely put some AeroGuard in, but other than that, the basics and the most important, obviously your lures. That's the most important, because without them you're not going to catch anything. Fish grips and pliers, they are absolutely critical. I hope this has helped give you a bit of a guide as to what's in my tackle box and what you could probably take in your tackle box. Stay tuned now, because I'm about to upload another video and I'm going to go into detail as to what lures that I'm taking on cut opening and why I've chosen the ones I've chosen.